Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Danielle here, and we've got a whole different setup because we're putting together some mystery bundles. Well, actually, I've already put them together. I'm just gonna show them off now. So luckily for me, I was able to pull a lot of this inventory from my Depop inventory that was pretty much unlisted. So I don't really have a thrifting portion because I went to about like 5 or 6 different thrift stores, but only picked up like one item from each store. So I didn't want to take up too much time showing each thrift store in depth just because I've already featured them in previous videos. But I was able to do mystery bundles again because Depop was offering free shipping about a week ago. And so I thought, okay, perfect opportunity to bring back at least 7 or 8. I will admit I had to refund one buyer just because I didn't come across her size or her style. I will disclose that she was an extra small, and you guys, believe it or not, extra small sizes are pretty hard to come by, and they're just as hard as finding plus size. So sadly, I did have to refund her, so I only have 7 mystery bundles to show off. So let's get to the first one. Oh, totally forgot to mention, if you're new to my channel and this is your first time seeing a Let Me Style You video, I pretty much put together mystery bundles based off your Depop likes. So after your purchase, whatever you have through your Depop likes is fair game for me to just draw inspiration from. So I'll either include tops, bottoms, dresses, lingerie, slips, honestly anything, and usually I try to find a dupe or something similar to a like. So let's finally talk buyer number 1, and I'm actually just gonna move on to Keisha just because I really like her 2 pieces and I feel like they were really spot on. So let me move over just a little bit. But the first piece that I was totally excited about is this little plaid skirt, and she does have a lot of these like faux wrap skirts as well, so it really plays into like the dark academia, just very preppy too. And y'all, this is reference number 1. So we are playing with this little pleated skirt. This one I feel like is a pretty good dupe because we have that plaid print. Hers is green, but it's still a darker hue, so I got this blue one going on. And then she does have like that dual closure at the top. Let me see, what are these? Those are just buttons, but I have buckles for her, and then they are faux leather straps. So we have these camisoles. Look at this blue satin one, super cute, right? But I'm gonna use this one here for reference. So it has the tiers, the ruffles, the sequins. You guys, look at my freaking dupe. Tell me that isn't good. I feel like it's pretty damn spot on. Yeah, we do have a few differences, but as far as similarities, the color is there, the like kind of crinkly, wrinkly construction, and we don't necessarily have all those ruffle tiers, but we do have this outside layer here that drapes. And this one is a surplice neck, so it's gonna help with a bigger bust just so that it gives it a little bit more room. But then again, we still have the beads, we have the sequins, and then the fun part, which I absolutely love, is the asymmetrical hems. It has all these points. Yes, I think it's so good. So Keisha, here are your 2 items. Hopefully you absolutely love them. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to buyer number 2. Buyer number 2 is for Giselle. Not gonna lie, but this bundle scared the crap out of me because as soon as I opened her likes, she had a lot of vintage silhouettes, something that is, you know, a little bit more modest, longer in length. So I was just like, shoot, 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 shoot. That is so far from my style. And also, I don't necessarily come across these at the thrift, but I'm pretty content with the pieces that I found. So let's start off with piece number 1, which was inspired by a handful of images. So I'll just put them here on the screen, but you guys can see something that they have in common is long sleeves. It's white, either a button up front or button up back, but it has some sort of like ornate, intricate detail. And so we'll just put a few there. This is my dupe for her. I was super stoked when I came across this at the thrift. I was just like, that's it. That's absolutely it. I like that it plays with different sort of fabrics. So we have the sheer sleeves here, which you guys know, anything that's sheer, I'm totally a sucker for. But we do have a button front closure with really decorative buttons. We do have some faux pearls, beading, sequins, lace, like it has it all. But I'll bring you in a little closer just because I know it's like super overexposed. And this is a true vintage piece as well. Look at how freaking pretty that is. And then for her second piece, she did have a whole bunch of midi skirts liked, and she did have about 2 tan ones. So I did get some inspo from that, and we picked up a beige neutral colored one for her. So we have this little midi skirt here. It does have a little ruffle trim at the hem, but it does have an all over print. And then of course, an elasticized waistband, which is gonna be super comfy. And as I was going through her likes, I did notice that she had an accessory that I've had in my wardrobe for a really long time, and I'll put it up here on the screen, but it's pretty much just this like clear belt. I got this from a sample sale when I first started my job at Nordstrom, so I was just like, what the heck? I don't ever wear it anymore, so might as well just give it to someone who is actually looking for a piece like this. But Giselle, we have your 3 items here. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to the next buyer. Our next buyer is for Dana. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, girl, correct me in the comments. And as we scroll down, we're seeing a whole bunch of lingerie, camisole, slips, which, you guys, my whole wardrobe is pretty much made up of them. So absolutely got really excited about that. And then I came across this image here, which I was just like, I have such a good dupe for that. So I recently got my hands on this little camisole here, and y'all, tell me that isn't such a good match. The only difference really is that in this image here, she does have a little front vent. This one doesn't have it, so the panel is totally connected. But other than that, the color, exact. We have the tie detail on the front, the sheerness. It also has adjustable straps, so she can adjust it to her bust, to her liking. But yes, super happy with this one. And then moving on to item number 2 for her, I included a pair of jeans, which is going into risky territory. So I just made sure to follow all her measurements. But I noticed she had liked a lot of jeans with like a Y2K aesthetic to them. I'm gonna pull up these here because I actually have these in my inventory. And so I was so stoked when I saw them because I really wanted to include them, but unfortunately the measurements weren't there. So instead I just got some inspo. We have some that has like a really big buckle. We have these with a lace up detail. So pretty much they just have, you know, a Y2K look to them. So instead, I actually have these here, which I absolutely love. These have been in my inventory for a hot minute and I just never got to posting them, but they do have a mid-rise. And then my favorite part is all the freaking embellishments that are lining the side, the waist, and the back here. But you guys can't really see it, so let me come in a little closer. So here's all the embellishments, and then underneath the embellishments is just a velvet stripe panel. So I just think they're super cool, and it does have a little flare leg too. So Dana, here are your 2 pieces. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to our next buyer. Moving on to buyer number 4 now, and it's for Haley. I surprisingly put her bundle together fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and open up her Depop likes, and what do we see? Immediately, we see that she's getting ready for fall. She has a whole bunch of grandpa sweaters, and lately Arthur has been picking up quite a few. So anytime I go thrifting with Arthur, we usually go our own ways, and he of course tackles men's right away. And then when we regroup again, he usually has like a handful of grandpa sweaters. So it's just like, yes, I already know one of them is gonna be going to Haley, but we do have this one that has a very repetitive print to it and is a bit darker in hue. So I ended up choosing this one here for her, and I really liked it because we kind of had like similar measurements. So I was worried that maybe it was gonna fit too big, but after I tried it on, I was like, heck yeah, this is super comfy. I think she'll absolutely love this. And lately I've been pairing grandpa sweaters with a mini skirt, some tights, and my Demonias or Mary Janes. Y'all, I'm telling you, it is such a freaking look. Another item that we see throughout her likes is just a whole bunch of Bermuda shorts. So I'll go ahead and put the image up here, but come on, y'all. This is pretty much identical. It has the high waist, the Bermuda length, denim construction, does have a bit more of like a wider hip, and these are the brand Lee's. So yes, Haley, we have your 2 pieces. I'm really stoked for you to see your items. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to our next buyer. Moving on to our next buyer, it is Katrina. So she actually didn't have very many Depop likes. So in case you're not like too familiar or don't like Depop that much, you can always send me your Pinterest link and I can go ahead and go through that. I just always warn buyers that I'm not too familiar with Pinterest, and I also feel like Pinterest is very like trendy and curated. So it's really hard to find dupes because visually I just need something that's like, here's a shirt, I like this, try to get that. Where Pinterest is more like photography and you like have to look good and everything is very thought out. So usually I draw inspiration from Pinterest, so she was okay with that, sent it over. So from Depop, she did have this little striped mini skirt. It's a vintage Dolce & Gabbana striped skirt, so I wasn't able to provide that brand, but I have a pretty good freaking dupe, and it's this little denim skirt. And you know, we have some similarities, we have some differences. So let's start off with the similarities, which obviously is the colorway and the stripe print. The only difference really, I mean, besides that being designer, this is XOXO, and the Dolce & Gabbana has the button fly, whereas we have a zip fly and then a button closure. So other than that, it's pretty dang similar. I was able to get some inspiration from this picture here. And so what she's wearing is so freaking cute. We have the little baby doll dress, the cardigan, the hat, but I was mainly focusing on the pink, and it's that little baby doll slip. So I was able to stick with the pastel color, but not necessarily the pink. I recently thrifted this little Betsy Johnson slip that I think is so freaking cute. It does have that baby doll silhouette similar to what we have in the image. Only this one has a little contrast bow detail on the bust. We have adjustable straps. And then you guys can see that it's very much waist-free, so it's gonna have the same silhouette as the one in the photo. Katrina, here are your 2 items. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to our next buyer. Guys, we only have 2 more bundles to show off, and let's move on to Maria now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just totally admit that I added an extra item for Maria's bundle just because she did have a smaller size, and like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, smaller sizes are pretty difficult to come by at the thrift, but I wasn't able to offer a variety of like tops, bottoms, jackets, you know. Instead, I included all tops. So that's why I decided just to include a 3rd item. But where the heck is my phone? Give me 1 second, guys. So I had Maria's likes up on the screen, and it was one of those bundles where I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. These pieces are very trendy. And so as we're scrolling down here, we're seeing a lot of corsets, a lot of prints, a lot of colors. Again, very similar to my own style. This isn't necessarily a dupe, but again, more drawing inspiration. So what really caught my eye was the color, the print. I'll also put these up here as well. So the first piece I have for her is this really cute little BB halter neck top. I think this is so freaking cute. It plays into the color that she's looking for, very bright and bold, and very wearable right now for summer. So I know it's not necessarily a dupe, but I feel like as far as inspiration, it's a pretty good choice. And then she also had a few corsets that are strapless and then had a like very repetitive print. So we have this one here, specifically hearts. Remember the hearts. We have another one with sunflowers, and then I was gonna try to go more after this silhouette here that just has the boning throughout, it's strapless. And so the choice I got for her is this little bustier top here. So if this looks familiar to you guys, I actually got it at the Rose Bowl Flea. So I've been trying to do my best to put these in bundles, and we finally have a pretty good dupe for it. So I went with this one, and I feel like, again, it's taking little details from all the photos. So this one, it's strapless. We have the heart print, which is also repetitive. So thought this was a pretty good choice. And then I know this one is a little bit toned down in color, but I mean, I feel like it's a good balance. And for Maria's last item is based off this image right here. Okay, I absolutely love this because when I was out thrifting in the valley, I actually came across this cute, sexy little number. And come on, you guys, this is pretty similar. As far as the color, the black lace, the only difference really is that the image is more of a crop top. This one definitely is a longer length, but it's really easy to style these, especially because it is just mesh construction. So you're not gonna look very bulky when you're trying to layer up. But Maria, here are your 3 items. Hopefully you enjoy them. Thank you so much for your purchase. Let's move on to our last buyer. Y'all, we made it to our last bundle of the video, and it is for Rosie. So as we were chatting, she did say that she was pretty open to anything jeans and lingerie. So I'm not sure if that was her hinting like, can you include some lingerie and some jeans? But she also said that right now she has a very feminine style, and it's very cute and girly, and she likes flowers and pink. And so as far as like getting into the specifics like that, you guys, it gets a little tricky just because when I enter a thrift store, I never know what I'm gonna find. So usually I try going in with no expectations, and if I come across it, super awesome. But instead, with her bundle, I did draw a lot of inspiration from certain items. So our first piece is this little mini skirt here. Well, actually, it's a mini skirt. And then this one has more of a stripe print that goes into a point. So I know it's not flowers, but we're gonna stick to the stripes. And I'm gonna assume that it's okay just because she did have it in other tops. But I'd like to think that you guys are purchasing my bundles because you trust my style and you actually like my style. So I took more of like creative liberty and made an executive decision to include this piece, which looks pretty similar to another piece that I showed off earlier in another bundle. But guys, come on, this is so freaking cute. So I'm really hoping this is up her alley because I would totally rock this in a freaking heartbeat. Kind of looks similar to what I'm already wearing now, only this one is a little bit more sexy because we have a sheer panel here. This one does have a little vent, and then we have 3 little satin buttons. So I wanted to focus on another pair of bottoms. She did say jeans in our chat, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be on the hunt for some jeans. She did only have 1 pair of pants light, so I'll put them here on the screen. They just look like it's a mid to high rise, a straight leg, and more of a medium wash. So I was able to nail some of those details. But you guys, look at these pants because I feel like they have so much freaking character. What should we talk about first? Okay, maybe that it's belted. It does have a velvet belt with an embellished little buckle. But now we gotta talk about these cuffs because we are giving her florals. We have this cute little embroidery detail. Again, bringing back the velvet accent with the little embellished buckle there. But these do have more of a straight leg, so I'm not sure how much I'm taking Rosie out of her comfort zone with these, but when I saw them, I immediately fell in love. But Rosie, here are your 3 items. Thank you so much for your purchase. Hopefully you like your items. Fingers crossed. But you guys, that pretty much does it for letting me style you and putting together these mystery bundles. If you had a favorite bundle, let me know in the comments down below, or even if you had a favorite piece. Hopefully you all really like your pieces because this is the very nerve-wracking part when I have to package everything and then send them out. But once you guys do get your bundles, feel free to tag me. I'm at Twinell on Instagram. I want to see your fits and show you guys off to everyone. I really wish I could offer mystery bundles more often, but my schedule is literally all over the place, so I don't know how many I can handle a week. But sometimes if you guys catch my live streams on Whatnot, I do add just like 1 or 2 mystery bundles to fulfill. So catch my live streams on Whatnot. I'll leave my link down below. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I post videos at least once a week. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! Oh, I can't reach you guys.